Hey guys, it's Boston Fan coming at you with, I guess, episode 2 of Show It Off Sunday, focusing again on TTM projects. Um, my concept is how to make your collection really cool or interesting without breaking the big bucks, buying a multi-signed in-person consignment type piece. And so the thing that I'm going to show you today is a very small collection. It should be quick. And it's really a way to focus on a favorite player or a legendary player. And that is looking for milestones that they hit and then getting autographs of the people who they came against. And this isn't new in the TTM hobby. And I'll show you what I got and then show you some ideas. So I did this around 2005, I would say. And again, it was a time where I was just trying to acquire pieces that I thought I would want to display because I had a dream and a goal of having a sports room or a man cave one day. And so I thought this would be a cool display. I could map what I got in the mail with a Hall of Fame plaque, and it would just look cool. And so it was a small Mickey Mantle collection, and I mean small, because there were only 3 players that were still living and signing that had given up significant home runs in his career. So the first was Randy Gumbert. So he signed it. He gave up Mantle's first career home run. So I asked him to inscribe it, and he gave the date, Mantle's first ML homer. And then I said, okay, looking at the list, also on the list was his 500th homer pitcher. That was Stu Miller, who's since passed as well. And he said through Mantle's 500th homer. And then the other one on the list was one of the most gracious signers still, and it's the one who gave up Mantle's last career home run. That's Jim Lonborg. And so Mantle's last home run, number 536. And he also gave the date. So I figured that was a cool little collection. I could stack the 3 and put a Hall of Fame plaque next to it, and that'd be a cool little Mantle display. I also have an 8x10 of Mantle that I picked up from Sports Collectors, which, now thinking one day if I have a palace and can have the sports room again, maybe that's a way to go. Maybe I will mat these next to that 8x10 or under that 8x10 or something. But this is a project that you can do, or you can at least do some research for any player that you admire, past or present. So I feel like in years past, I've looked up David Ortiz for some of his home runs, and there weren't a lot of signers, though that was years ago, and I can't remember. So that's actually something I might look into and see if there's home run number 1 or 100 or 50 or 150, try to build a small Ortiz collection like that. He's a player I admire. Same thing with Pedro Martinez, significant strikeouts. You could do a player like Pete Rose, significant hit numbers. The record breaker will be hard because he's deceased Eric Chow. You could do Ricky Henderson, catchers he stole bases off of. What catcher or pitcher did he steal his first base off, his 100th? His record-breaking stolen base, both in a season and career, and build a small collection like that. It's a way to, I thought, go after kind of like a superstar or legend display without actually having to coin up and pay out for the actual legend themselves, and still have kind of a neat display. So this is my little Mantle display. I'm sure I could add other pitchers that gave up Mantle's 237th home run or 415th home run, but that didn't appeal to me at the time. Doesn't particularly appeal to me now to go after random inscriptions like that. I thought number 1, number 500, and the final number 536 were pretty significant numbers. I'm almost positive that numbers 100, 200, 300, and 400 were all deceased at the time that I went to do this, or they were signing for a fee that I didn't have the money to pay for. So that's my quick Show It Off Sunday. Give it a thought. If there's a player that you admire, there are lists online of every hit that they got, every home run they got, the pitcher that gave them up, every stolen base, every strikeout a pitcher, recorded, and who it came against. By all means, if that's something that you think is interesting, you can display it or not. You can just have the index cards in a binder. Maybe you have a player binder of that, and you can add an index card page in there and have that displayed. But again, it's a good, cheap idea to get something cool that you might want to display in your collection that won't break the bank. Might be a little bit of fun to research. You get nice, like I got nice index cards with pretty cool inscriptions that are pretty unique. And it's just a way, again, to kind of do what I do in the hobby, is try to get the most bang out of my buck and get absolutely the best collection I can without spending the money, because I just don't have the money. So I hope you found this a little informative. Maybe it gave a couple of you guys an idea of something to chase. And otherwise, I hope you just enjoyed this tiny little piece of my collection. Until next time, goodbye.